Our Miami Hurricanes have been very, 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 very busy with the transfer portal and with recruiting. I really wanted to figure out who was going to be our quarterback. I really wanted to figure out if we were going to get Will Howard, if we were going to get Cam Ward, but we did figure that out this weekend at the time of me recording this video. But what we did do, I believe, is add two good pieces from the transfer portal and then a future kid who I think could be a stud. Now, first up, CJ Clark. We've talked about him on this channel. The North Carolina State interior defensive lineman, one of the first people to come visit Miami by the end of the season, 6'3", 305 pounds. We played him this year. I was looking at our scores, and we only scored 6 points against North Carolina State. That's crazy to me. I was looking at our scores the other day and said, we only scored 6 points. That's a crime shame. But CJ was a part of that defense. You know, he played the nose tackle in a 3-3-5 defense that had one of the best defensive performances against our Miami Hurricanes. We've seen him play. He's a guy who's dealt with a couple injuries throughout his career, but these last couple years he's bounced back, showed he was good. This is a good pickup because you look at us losing Leonard Taylor, us losing Branson Dean, man. I was very happy with what Branson Dean brought to this team as well. Now that we talk about it, I feel like we don't talk about him enough. But losing Leonard Taylor and Branson Dean, you knew we were going to have to go into the portal and get some interior defensive linemen. And CJ Clark is the first piece. We got a couple young guys. We got some guys that we're bringing in the portal. But this is a good start, and I expect us to look to continue to improve that position because this year showed us you can come in with set guys, but injuries are just going to happen. So CJ Clark, former North Carolina State interior defensive lineman, will now be a Miami Hurricane. SAVION Riley, 6'2", 202 pounds. I think the biggest thing with this guy is he's the transfer from Vanderbilt is he's going to have 3 years of eligibility left. So he played a lot at Vanderbilt last year. I think he missed a couple games due to injury. But Miami should have him for 3 more years to help develop him and to get better. And he should be able to compete right away because, as we know, we're losing Cam. We're losing James Williams. So our safety right now is a question mark. We got some young gunners that I'm excited about. Jaden Harris, Caleb Spencer. But now you throw SAVION Riley, 48 tackles last year, 12 tackles in one game versus Florida. I'm interested to see what he can bring to the table and what he can develop to be. I do love getting really good players from the transfer portal that's going to be here for a year. But I really, 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 really like when we can get somebody in who I think can make an impact and who can compete for a starting job, but then we're going to have them for a couple years, right? Like a Matt Lee, Javion Cohen, those guys were great last year, but they're one and done. They're not going to be back with us. And although they were good for last year, just imagine having them one more year. Now SAVION Riley's resume doesn't compare to those guys, but the point I'm trying to make is I always feel like it's an extra bonus on a transfer kid when he does have extra couple years because it's not like you have to force him into duty right away. Now, if he like that, he gonna see that Cam is gone, that James Williams is gone, and he's gonna seize the opportunity. We'll find out once he gets into camp and we start hearing things and seeing things. But SAVION Riley, former Vanderbilt safety, will now be a Miami Hurricane. So 2 transfer portal commits at position of needs for our Miami Hurricanes. Now, guys, I don't know if y'all noticed this, but I really don't talk too much about like 2025, 2026 kids. If the next class is, when we talk about high school, is 2024, then I usually just stick with talking about the 2024 class because recruiting is very fickle. You know, one day a kid loves you, the next day a kid don't. So if a kid commits and he's in a 2025 class, sometimes I don't even talk about it because a lot can happen until their signing day. If you get a kid to commit 2 years out, 3 years out, I'm happy, but I'm like, let's wait and see. That's just how I've always handled recruiting on my channel. But Miami did get a commitment from a guy, oh my goodness. Elijah Melendez. Oh. Just watch this man's huddle tape. Just watch this man's huddle tape. He's what a linebacker, 6'2", 225 pounds. Like I said, he's in a 2025 class, 4-star composite, and a 247 linebacker. And when you watch his huddle tape, this kid is one step gone to the ball. This kid is knocking out fullbacks, tackles, whoever's getting in his way, getting put on their ass. I mean, there's one video where he knocks one kid down. The kid is just sitting on his ass. The play is going another way. Everybody else is going over here. The kid's still sitting down, laying on the ground. When you watch the film, you want to watch it twice, maybe even 3 times. If you really love football, this is a kid that you would watch. You would watch his huddle and you'd be excited about. Now, I think he has great instincts. 6'2". You see all our linebackers, and my boy Rasta Edits on Twitter pointed this out. If you look at all our linebackers recruits, they're all looking a certain way, 6'2", 6'3", 200 plus. Right, and this kid still has another year of high school left before he even gets to Miami. He came to visit Miami at the Texas A&M game. Now, I watched the interview with him and my boy Chalupa Batman. Guys, if you love Miami Hurricanes content, I'm going to put a link to an interview that Chalupa Batman did with Elijah Melendez. And it was really good to get to know the kid. And that's what the interview was. He talked about how he came to visit Miami. He came to visit Miami when he watched the Texas A&M game, how he had a great time at the game. And he was talking about how he watched our boy Kiko. And that's another thing. Shout out to Kiko because you have guys like Kiko, Wesley Basaint, because Coach Derek has done a great job with these linebackers. Even CJ Cloyd did a good job this year. Because we've seen the production was good this year, that stuff stands out to kids watching. I'm going to link the interview in the description and in the community tab, and you guys go watch it. And Chalupa Batman, he puts out great content, quality content. And I believe that if you watch that interview, you may want to stick around and continue to subscribe. So Miami has added CJ Clark, SAVION Riley. They will be on the squad next year. And then we got a commitment from Elijah Melendez. And we're just waiting for our quarterback. I will say that Will Howard, they're starting to put crystal balls in that Will Howard could be a lock at USC. There's message boards saying that, hey, USC knocked it out the park. Is that stuff true? I don't know. But if you watch my past video, I kind of laid out, if I was Lincoln Riley, what I would say and what I would do. And you look at this predicament, Will Howard commits to USC, and then it's we have to beat out Florida State to get Cam Ward. Do I think we can? Yes. Does it make sense for him to come to Miami instead of Florida State? It does to me. But if it does not happen and we miss out on a Will Howard and a Cam Ward, it's going to be a bad look. Just the bottom line. Let me know what you guys think. I'm out.